Lavette Lee in the Mickey Ficky house. Good morning, Ma. I appreciate it. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much. My man, Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. That's my dude right there. Man, he protected me for so many years. He was one of my offensive linemen. That's my guy. He would always tell me, Shawn, I always blocked extra hard when I knew you were getting the ball. With friends like that, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I was so successful, because I had peoples like that in my corner. Who else we got here? Marshawn Walls in the Mickey Ficky house. What up, man? It is cold, Papa. Happy hump day. It is cold out there. Ooh, Charlie's cold. Yeah, I went out to get my paper, because for those of you who don't know, most of you do. All right, I have to get my paper. I get my newspaper every day. I don't need it online. I don't read it online. I don't do no. I don't do that. No. I don't do that. I can't. I am very. It's tactile. I'm tactile. I need to hold something. All right, and I just can't. I can't look in line and look at my phone. No. I'm old school. Plus, I play the Sudoku game in there every day as well. All right, if you are from, I'm sure you've seen it, and you may or may not know how to play it, but I know how to play it. The Sudoku, this game right here, that game right there. Yeah, I love playing those. Dude, it just gets me. It's good stuff. Hey, listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. More of the usual suspects will chime in as the show goes on. That, my peoples, I can tell you. That I know. We have a great show for you. 10 o'clock. Brandon Hiatt. Woo, Charlie. I'm excited. Brandon Hyatt's going to join us talking Bears football. He's a Chicago sports podcast. And we got lots to talk about. A lot of there's a coordinator search going on. Actually, 2 coordinator searches are going on. We're not hearing about the defensive one. Really, we're mostly hearing about the offensive coordinator. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the draft scenario with Brandon. What would he do? And again, I heard Dan Wiederer this morning talking. They just got an agenda. It's funny. It's funny, and everything he said is gearing toward having you believe that, trading or keeping the number 1 pick and taking Caleb Williams is the thing to do. So he has his agenda. I have mine. All right. I don't think it's the right thing to do. As a matter of fact, I know it's not the right thing to do. But, and then you got people, what's funny, I shouldn't even say funny. What's interesting is now you got people who are people who are former players who are there talking like, nah, we don't want that. They don't get it. They don't get it. And I don't know. It's, when you have players talking, that's the thing that really, you have to see. Players know. Players know. Players understand. They don't say anything. They won't say anything because whatever reason. But it's interesting just to see. And when you hear players talk, you have to be like, oh, snap. That's how you feel, cuz? That's how you feel? I think it's extremely important when you hear players talk. I think it's extremely important when you hear how players feel. Because you don't hear that often from them. You hear what people want you to hear or what they want you to hear. But when they're on with other athletes, there's a a wall that they don't have to, that's already torn down, so to speak, because they're comfortable with former athletes. And sure enough, with who was it? Keyshawn Johnson. You know, Jalen Johnson was pretty open. Pretty open. I thought it was pretty cool. Just trying to find it. All right, we'll come back and we'll try and we're looking for it earlier. Anyways. So yeah. I said there's a clip on YouTube for Cornelius. Cornelius, good morning, Papa. There's a clip on YouTube that compares Justin's college performance with Caleb's college performance, and what I see is that Caleb is smaller, slower fields. Yeah, listen. Junior, Caleb is the leader. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think. I'm not going to slander the young man because I don't know him. All right. There's a couple things that I don't necessarily like about his behavior. Okay, and that's fine. And I'm not saying he's not going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. I am not. I'm not saying that at all. All right, I'm not. All right. And I don't want people to think that I have an issue with him. I have an agenda against him. Personally, no, I don't. I don't know the young man. Okay. I just think right now Justin Fields is the better option. I think the development of Justin Fields. You know, I was watching. There's a clip. Maybe I'll play it today. There's a clip. And when you sit there and you hear what people talk about, and this is why it frustrates me when, like, you deal with so many people who don't know football and are literally just puppets and parrots. Excuse me. That's probably what it is. They're just parrots to what other people say. They regurgitate what other people say. And they're like, well, you know, he doesn't do this. He can't throw from the pocket. He can't read defenses. He can't. You sit there, and at that point, I'm like, okay, I know where this conversation is going. You don't know football. You definitely don't know offense. So the conversation that we're having is pretty much it's pointless. It's pointless. And again, I have nothing personal against Caleb. I think he'll be a good NFL player. I don't think he's generational. I don't think he's going to change the way you play the game of football. I think he'd be a good player. Okay, I do. All right. I just think Justin Fields is better for this team. And people worry about the money. First of all, don't worry about the money. It's not your money. It's not your money. Because sometimes you gotta pay. You get what you pay for. And if you get, don't let me go too crazy into these these topics. Not yet. Brandon, what's up, Papa? How are you? Brandon Shuts in the house. DC's up in this mother Hubbard. Hell yeah. Bear down, baby. Bear down. You know. So I don't have a negative campaign about Caleb Williams. I don't. I have a pro campaign for Justin Fields. See, there's a difference. And a lot of times people think because you're pro something, you have to be anti something else. No. I'm not anti Caleb Williams. I just don't think Caleb Williams is going to be the best person for this team. I don't. You know, I'm going to find that clip. and it talks about what I've been screaming from the mountaintops on my soapbox. My soapbox on a mountaintop. Coaching. Coaching, coaching, coaching. You know, I'm sitting there and I hear people. We're going to talk about that. You know, we'll talk about that more at length. We got other stuff to talk about. We got top of the morning topics to get into. But Brandon Hiatt's going to join us today at 10 o'clock. Talking Bears. We'll talk a lot of this stuff. I'm excited about it. Really, really, really am. But so guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Yeah. Let's see. Here we go. That's what I need. There you go. The first top of the morning topics. The Blackhawks, baby. The Blackhawks beat the San Jose Sharks 2-1 in a shootout yesterday. Mrazek stopped 37 of 38 shots. Cole Gutman with his fourth lamp lighter of the year. And they went to shootout. They went to a shootout. Oh, on that Gutman goal, Donato had his 8th helper and Korchinski his 7th. A good win for the Blackhawks. And then something else happened over the weekend as well, that Connor Bedard was on the ice. Now, he was wearing a green jersey, which means no contact. He's not allowed to take slap shots because if you forgot, if you don't recall, he had his jaw broken by the big hit. All right. It was a clean hit. It wasn't dirty. He was extended out, and a dude hit him. It's just part of hockey. It's part of the game. However, he cannot. Right now, he cannot take a slap shot. He cannot have contact. He said because when you take a slap shot, what happens is you clench your cheek, your jaw. So he can't do that. So he's back on the ice, which is cool. But again, he's being. Let's see. Russell, good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. People knock fields for not getting the ball quickly. Well, watch Caleb hold the ball and tell me that's a quick release. No, well, Caleb has a quick release. He has a quick release. Okay, but the quick release, and here's the thing. Here's a thing. Quick release is also understanding and coaching. All right. Because you can throw, and people talk about anticipatory throws, and Justin doesn't do this, doesn't do that. Everybody's anti-Justin. I shouldn't say everybody. A lot of people are anti-Justin, and you're thinking, like, stop, dude. Like, literally just stop. You hold on to the ball a long time for different reasons. All right. One of them is coaching. And when you talk about anticipatory throws, there's things you do. There are drills that you can work, but it's also coaching. You're not under people, and it sounds like everything I'm doing is putting all the onus on coaches. Yeah, there's a responsibility in coaches. So let me ask you a question. Would you have a fit if your son or daughter couldn't do, and you're not helping them at home, but after 2 years, say with the same teacher. Now, sometimes teachers move up a grade or two with kids. Your 7-year-old couldn't do addition. Couldn't do addition. It was just can't do it. Can't do it on paper. Can't do it off their head. Who would you blame? Who would you blame? Would you go to the kid? Listen, you dumbass. 5 + 5 is 10. What the fuck's wrong with you? You're supposed to know this. You're 8, you're 9, you're 10. You're supposed to know this. Or would you go to the school and say, hey, listen, I don't know my son's getting proper teaching. So people forget coaching is another word for teaching. That's it. That's all it is. I'm teaching you football. I'm teaching you my scheme for football. I'm teaching you what I want to do in this football game. Mike Tomlin said it best. Don't absolve coaches from the responsibility of coaching. Look, and here's a perfect example. Look at San Francisco. San Francisco traded hell and high water to get Trey Lance. Did they not? Stuck with him for a couple of years, and guess what? He wasn't that guy. He couldn't do it. He wasn't the playmaker. He wasn't, and you had the same coaches. You had the same players, except I don't think they had CMC yet, Christian McCaffrey. But you had Brandon Ayuk. You had George Kittle. You had Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuels. You had weapons. So then you switch quarterbacks, Mr. Irrelevant, the last person in the draft, and he takes him to the NFC Championship game. Same teacher. But you cannot say that he wasn't taught properly. He wasn't coached properly. Well, here, Justin Fields has had different coaches, different teachers. And some of them were not good. You know, Derek, that's a great question. Why do you think that last OC didn't speed up Justin Fields? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the last OC personally, so I can't tell you his personality. I mean, all you can get is what you have in the pressers on Thursday that we see. I don't know. I don't know. But the thing I can tell you, because it's kept happening, I'll tell you what, this is being allowed to happen. That's my issue. It was being allowed to happen. He wasn't coached up properly. There's a way, like, look, you just can't do this anymore. This is what's going to happen. You're going to drop back like this. If not, then guess what we're going to do? We're going to have an extended individual time, and all you're going to do is drop back. All you're going to do is drop back. And if I don't like it, guess what? We'll have Tyson Bagent run reps with the first unit, because this is what I need you to do. You demand this out of players. And if you're great players, you want that hard coaching. You don't think Andy Reid was tough? You hear the stories Alex Smith would tell about Patrick Mahomes and how hard Andy Reid was on him as a rookie, and he didn't even play. He didn't even play as a rookie. How he was just harder. He demanded the best out of him. This is what we need. Good athletes do not run away from tough coaching. They do not. They run to it. But they're going to challenge you. Don't get me wrong. They're going to challenge the hell out of you. And that's where you need to be ready. So, Derek, I have no idea. And that's part of his downfall, because the clip that hopefully I'm going to get and show you, if you look at all those throws, my man, it's 1, 2, 3, bounce, throw, 1, 2, 3, plant, throw, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plant, throw. Everything's in rhythm. Everything's in rhythm, and that's all I've been saying. This is a version of the West Coast offense, and in the West Coast offense, footwork is everything. Everything. So whoever the next OC is, better make sure that his footwork is right. Better make sure. Sorry. I keep doing this. I don't even know why. What the heck's happening over here? What's happening over here? What's happening? Let's go. The next top of the morning topic. Let's see, where do we go? Where do we go? We'll stay with the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks. The Blackhawks travel north of the border to take. That's the Bulls, silly. Here we go. No. Who did they play tonight? I thought I had it. This is my mistake. I don't even know why I did this. The Blackhawks travel north of the border to take on. No, not north of the border. They travel to Buffalo. All right. They're at Buffalo tonight to take on the Sabres. Puck drop is 6:30. Remember, they're East Coast, so it's 7:30 Eastern time, 6:30 our time. You can watch that game on TNT. It's not on NBC Sports Chicago. It's on TNT today, or you can listen to it on the radio flagship 7:20 a.m. All right, you can do that. You can do that. It's okay. It's okay, man. It's okay. The Bulls, they will travel north of the border. That's the next top of the morning topic. That's the one I put up for you a second ago. That was the wrong one. But the Bulls travel north of the border tomorrow. All right, they take on the Toronto Raptors. Tip-off is 6:30 Central. You can catch that game on TNT as well. Today, you can catch a game at 6:30, a Chicago team on TNT at 6:30 Central. Tomorrow, you can catch a Chicago team on TNT at 6:30 Central. Today is the Blackhawks. Tomorrow is the Bulls. So if you don't want to watch it on TNT, you can listen to the Bulls on their flagship, 6:70 a.m. The Bulls are playing some good basketball right now. They're playing some good basketball, and I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I do. I think it's refreshing. It's fun to see these guys get out. It's fun to see these guys performing efficiently. You know, you heard me say efficient. I want things to be efficient. I want things run efficiently. The Bulls are running things efficiently now. You know, efficiently. That's what I like. That's what I like. We'll talk more about that, Derek, but it's the timing. Yeah, everything speeds up. 1, 2, 3, bounce, throw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, throw. But here's also another thing. You've got to get wide receivers to get separation, which means you got to come out of the break quick. It's a whole bunch of stuff. A whole bunch of stuff. But listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do something real quick. I got to do something real quick. I got to take a break. I got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to have more top of the morning topics. All right. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, There's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Yeah, hello. I'm really not sure if this is what you all do, but I really don't have anywhere else to turn.
Hi. I don't even know why I'm calling right now. I'm sorry. My thoughts are going a mile a minute.
My kids are out of state. My buddies from the army are all gone now. I'm really alone.
I left the service last year. My mom just passed away a few months ago. I miss so much time with her. I keep getting calls about the bills, and I'm trying to get a job, but I feel so stuck.
Okay, ma'am. I'm glad you called.
Okay, sir. Let's stay on the line and walk through some things.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators. A passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds. Help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Every day we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Donato fires safe. Blackwood rebound. Score! Cole Gutman was lurking in the crease.
Trying to get it out of the zone, and it's kept in brilliantly. The first shot stopped. The second one actually goes off of Ferraro and his leg. So Gutman right here. Gets it between his legs, trying to score on that.
Now Boris Kachuk. He steps on it. Kachuk. Backhand score!
Game winner here. Fake the shot, get the goaltender to bite, goes down on his knees, and now you just extend that.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy, as you see, of NBC Sports Chicago. That was the Blackhawks, baby, with their 2-1 shootout victory yesterday over the San Jose Sharks. Kachuk with the game winner. In the highlights, they didn't have Mrazek stopping the last shot from San Jose, but it's all right. It's all right. You know, it's funny. The Warriors go heading out to CrossFit. I got to pick her up a little bit. That's all right. But that's all right. Where were we? We were talking about. Yeah, here's what we know what was really cool. I'm not even believe I'm saying this, but we'll start the next top of the morning topic. Sorry, that was wrong. The Cubs. Yeah, I know. But I'll tell you what. I am a little jealous. All right, I am jealous. Cubs convention this past weekend over the Sheraton Grand Chicago, and it just I'm jealous. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm jealous. All right, you got to see your players, your manager. There was a lot to celebrate for Cub fans and look forward to. There really was. And spring is going to hit different for Cub fans than it is for Sox fans. It's going to hit different. You know, they introduced a new pitcher, and what he did was pretty cool.
Hey, Chicago. What do you say? Cubs gonna win today. Nice to meet you. I'm Shota Imanaga. I played Yokohama DNA Ballstars 8 years. I'm very happy to be here and be a Cub. I want to say thank you to entire Cubs organization for having me, and I'm very excited to pitch at Wrigley Field. I'm looking forward to meeting fans and teammates. Go Cubs, go!
You know, that was last week, and Cub fans are excited, and they have every right to be, and they should be. All right? They should be. Now, if you can sign Cody Bellinger, man, that'd be even more better. It's an old English phrase I just made up. Sign Cody Bellinger. Wow, I think your offseason will be it could be one of the better off seasons the Cubs will have had in a while. White Sox, on the other hand, we canceled Sox Fest months ago because they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear the fans' displeasure. All right? They don't want to hear that. And you know what? It's too bad. We have a lot of displeasure. We're not happy with a lot of stuff. Okay, we're not. And that's the issue. This team is run in a half-assed way. Okay? This team, there's no regard for the fans. All right, we put our money, we put our hard-earned money here, supporting this team. Excuse me. I need. It's my tea. We spent our hard-earned money supporting this team. Going out there, tickets are not very cheap. Parking's $30. Probably be more this year. All right, beers are $10, $11, $12 if you get a craft beer. You know, hot dogs are $7, $8 for a hot dog, period. I spent a lot of money there. And for them to not give us a product that we're excited to see, for them not to give us a product or to hire managers that we know aren't good, I shouldn't even say good, just not experienced, not ready for this team. You know, I said before, I don't know if Pedro Grifol is a good manager or not, but I'm not giving a rookie manager a veteran team that's underperforming. I'm not doing it. Now, if you get a rookie manager with a young team, an inexperienced team, okay, cool. You can grow together like Ricky Renteria. But this team is underperformed, and he has no gravitas. He's got no gravitas. He's got no respect when he walks in the door. And that's the issue for me, because you say you want to win, but you're lying. You're full of shit. Because if you wanted to win, you'd go get a manager with respect, who demands respect. You go get a manager who's a World Series champion. There were plenty of them out there. There was Ozzie. There was Bruce Bochy, Joe Girardi. There's a whole bunch of them out there. But you chose not to. Why? Because you want to be puppet masters. Rick Hahn didn't want people superseding his power. Chris Getz is the same way. Look at the new GM, same as the old. So you're going to continue to do this bullshit and expect fans to show up. I'm not showing up. I told you, I am not showing up. I may go to the opening day tailgate that my people throw. But I'm going to park in the Jewel, or it used to be Jewel. It used to be Dominic's. The parking lot over there on Archer and Ashland, closer to 37th in Ashland, or 33rd in Ashland, excuse me. Walk to 35th in Ashland and hop the bus. I'm not even paying parking. I'm not giving you my $30. It's the principle. You don't give a shit about us. Why should we give a shit about you? You know, it's got to be a two-way street. You got to show us you care. You got to show us that you want to succeed. You got to show us that you want to win. You know, it's the city of champions. We've all seen all. Well, I shouldn't say we all. Many of us have seen all the teams win a title. Many of us have. And for you to not give a damn about us, for you to do this, for you to increase prices yearly and not give us the best chance to win, that's bullshit. I told you, I wish Sox fans would boycott the entire home opening weekend. Have like 500 people in the stands. And I know it's not going to affect the bottom line very much. Oh, boy. Okay. I know it's not going to affect the bottom line very much, but still, it's the I can't, where'd that go? There you go. I could have sworn I had to send it to I could have sworn I sent it to him. I did send it to him. I sent it to you. It's okay. It's the principle of the matter. And so here, look at what they're doing. I find this hilarious. Look what they're doing. So when your team sucks and you know that people aren't going to go, they up the giveaways. They up the giveaways and they make it more enticing for you to go. You know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to get my ticket off of a third-party vendor. I'll bring, hell, because we'll get tickets for $5. I'll bring 2 or 3 people with me. $15, $20. We'll all walk in. We'll all get the promotion. I'll walk right the hell out. They got a nice little sweatshirt up on the left-hand side. Chicago White Sox looks nice. Top middle. You have another sweatshirt. Chicago White Sox. We had Comiskey Park on it. The top right, it looks like a hockey jersey, which looks dope. In the middle row, you have like a windbreaker with the 90s style White Sox. I like. You got the middle, you got what looks like probably Lewis Robert in the middle. Then you got a White Sox shirt on the left, and the bottom row is dope. The bottom right, 51, a football jersey. Looks dope. Bottom center, you have like one of the vests, the sleeveless shirts they had. Remember they used to wear the black T-shirts or long sleeve shirts underneath the vest. I like that. So yeah, I'll go. But this is what they're doing. When they know that people aren't going to go, they make the giveaways much better. Ain't that some shit? How about this? How about you make the team better? How about you hire people who pull the best out of the team? There's a crazy idea. Don't worry about the damn giveaways, as nice as they are. Don't worry about that. I'm telling you, it's something else. Something else. Man, these. Sorry, I had to. I had to get that off my chest. Oh, man. Oh, the next topic, morning topic, where did it go? Where did you go? It's crazy that this is... Excuse me. I don't know where the heck this went. Well, here you go. Well, we'll make it up on the fly. The Bears. The Bears continue their search for new coordinators. Okay, there's one that's apparently a really hot topic for a lot of people. A hot topic for a lot of people. Greg Roman is the guy that people are just saying, oh my goodness, don't hire him, don't hire him. And this is why? Des Bryant, who was with the Ravens at the time, says he tweeted out, every wide receiver on the offense better ask for a trade. I warned you. Well, here's the thing. I look at Greg Roman's track record. All right. Offensive coordinator when he was with the San Francisco 49ers under Jim Harbaugh, led Colin Kaepernick and that offense and part of it to the Super Bowl against Jim's brother John. Okay. Well, he was with Alex Smith first, then Kaepernick. Then he's with Baltimore. And in Baltimore, so not only does he help lead that offense of that San Francisco 49er team to a Super Bowl, he unleashed Colin Kaepernick. And yes, Colin Kaepernick ran. Then he goes to Baltimore, And his best, I shouldn't say his, Lamar Jackson's best season is with Roman. He had a combined almost 40 touchdowns, like 35, 36 touchdowns combined. Had over 1,000 yards rushing, 3,000 yards passing. People are mad. So I'm like, wait a minute. If he's got 3,000 yards passing, why would Des say this? I'm like, the thing is this. You win. You win with this guy. So people talk about, well, his past concepts and his past. Okay. If we're running the ball and we're winning, fine. And to debunk that point, he threw for 3,000 yards. He threw for 3,000 yards. So how are you bitching and moaning about this, saying that you got to work on the pass game? You got to work on this. A quarterback, if Justin throws for 3,000 yards and rushes for another 1,000 or 800, are you happy? Hell yeah, I'm happy. Everybody's so worried about we don't have a 4,000-yard passer. The bottom line is to win. The bottom line is to hoist the Lombardi Trophy at the end of the year. How you get there, I don't give a damn. But you know who does? Television stations, TV stations. Why? Because they want to sell it. Why do you think all the rules are for the offense? They want points scored. I want wins. And until we get a dome stadium, which we're probably not going to have for at least 5 years, we're going to be a good team, and it means we're going to have to come out here and play in the elements. So what works in the elements? Running the ball. What works in the elements? Defense. So I want the passing game to be good, but I want us to rely on the run game, and that's where this guy comes in. And from what I was reading, and this is a possibility, well, let me tell you, they brought in Bobby Slowick as well. He's the offensive coordinator down in Houston. Oh, he's on their list. They brought in Kubiak, Gary Kubiak's son. Oh my goodness. So they brought in 5 people. Shane Waldron, the guy from Seattle. So I like the teams that the people they're bringing in, and what they're saying. This is what I'm reading. It's a possibility. If they do this, I will have the ultimate respect, if I can have any more respect, for Ryan Poles. What they want to do is make an all-star team. So you bring in various coordinators. One's the offensive coordinator. Then you have another one as a quarterback coach, passing game coordinator. And then you bring Greg Roman in as their running game coordinator. And you tie those in. Now, here's some of the things that's the great part about it. If you do it for 1 year, perfect. Because Greg Roman will probably want to be an OC somewhere else, and other people might want to be head coaches, and I get it. Cool. But you're still going to have some of those concepts. You're still going to see some of the things that worked. You're still going to have some of the offensive things that work, which is why it bothers me that, or maybe this is why they keeping Chris Morgan, the offensive line coach. Is he supposed to take all this in from the run coordinator, from the pass coordinator, and merge it together? So when one of those guys leaves and whoever the OC is, maybe that's it. I'm not sure. But I was very not surprised, because it's very bearish when they said Chris Morgan is our O-line coach. So now you're telling an offensive coordinator he's got to stick with him. Like, come on. Like I said, Bobby Slowick is not coming here. He's probably going to be head coach, offensive coordinator at with Houston. I'm sorry. It was I misspoke. I misspoke. forgive me. But Waldron, Kubiak, and Kubiak, they went to the college ranks too. Got the head coach for the University of Kentucky as well. They brought him in for an interview along with Greg Roman. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I see Greg Roman's going to come up, and this is the thing. And is this reason? Is this reason or this interview with Roman, is that part of the reason or a result of the question that I asked? I have to wonder. What are you doing in a short game? Don't you have anything? Greg Roman will pull up some great run plays. Because if it has anything to do with the question that I asked Justin, I feel good. If not, okay. No, Cornelius, I misspoke. I misspoke. He's not coming here. I misspoke. He's going for a head coaching gig. J2K, good morning, Papa. Yeah, it's not consistent. There are different aspects to a run game. And the biggest deficiency that we had that I saw is short yardage. So what I'm saying is that what I was reading is that they might have an all-star team. They might have one passing game coordinator, one run game coordinator. You put them together for a year. My man, be nice from the left coast, baby. Brandon, good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. The car god himself, Charles McDavid. What's up, baby? James Ford in the house, baby. Good morning, James. So this is what I'm thinking that they're going to do. We'll see. We're going to have more Bears talk. You know what? Keep it locked right here. We're going to take a quick break because on the other side of the break, Brandon Hiatt's going to join us. We're going to talk a little more Bears. Get your questions ready. Get your questions ready. I have plenty of questions for Brandon, what he thinks. We're going to talk about what he do with the number one pick, who he take, offensive coordinator search. We got a lot to talk about, baby. So don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
To run for 17, back he goes, here comes Chubb, there goes the ball, touchdown, Jones will walk at the left tackle, time for Fields, now we'll accelerate to get the first down, and break tackles, and he's off to the races, and we got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class. These colored pencils, too.
These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver.
And I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
Justin Fields, Jay Cutler, former Chicago Bear quarterback, says, like I think, keep Justin Fields, trade down, pick up something else that your needs are,
right,
and build the roster. How do you feel about that situation?
I mean, for me, being in it is tough. It's hard because you know the talent that's there already. You know kind of the situation, and I think it is tough for me and him having different coordinators, different coaches, different regimes come in and out. And I think it's hard to truly adjust as a young quarterback being able to do that. But I definitely, for me, can see the talent that he has in practice, the throws that he can make, the accuracy. But I think you can definitely tell when he's confident and when he's not confident, when he's settled in a pocket and when he's not. And he just kind of looks, I feel like, a lot different. And I think just going in and saying, oh, we'll just give it to him, he's not the answer. I don't think that's it. I think it's kind of taking the easy way out and making the coaches not take accountability, because I think the coaches have a big part in developing the quarterback. And I think that he hasn't had an opportunity to truly be developed yet, with now going on his third coordinator in his fourth year. So I think, honestly, just it's about the people around him, I think. And I think it starts with his quarterback coach. It starts with the offensive coordinator teaching and molding and building him into being that quarterback. And I think even like Mahomes, I mean, he wasn't just who he was when he first came in. He was behind Alex Smith. He got built. He got molded into being who he is. So I think it's really about that part first. And then I think if you get some dogs around him, some O-line that can consistently hold up, I think a good running game, receivers. I mean, we got DJ and we were building some good things. I think
Guys, you hear it. Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox Sports. That was Jalen Johnson. Where have you heard that before? Where have you heard that before? From me. Where have you heard it before? It was popular. From me. Where have you heard it's about coaching? See, there's certain things. Coaching can get you so far. Okay? When you coach a guy who doesn't have a lot of talent, he does everything well. He has a ceiling. He's going to do well, and he has a ceiling. Brock Purdy. And I'm not saying Brock Purdy doesn't have talent. Please don't say that. He's limited. There's a reason he was Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick of the draft. What he does is he follows directions well. He realizes he knows his limitations, and that's the smart part. Okay, here's what I can do. More importantly, here's what I can't do. So I'm not going to do those. More importantly, my offensive coordinator, Kyle Shanahan over there, is not going to ask me to do that. So mind you, Brock Purdy, they took him over, was it Jimmy G? The guy that everybody loves. They loved in New England. They loved, come on, over Trey Lance. Why? Because he's coachable. He was coached. So you give Justin a good coach? And I've talked about this, and people don't get this. All right? Pass protection and route combos aren't married. And you expect Justin to be, so if you're asking what I mean, you can't run intermediate to long routes and have a 3-step drop. You can't have a 5-step drop and run a slant or a hitch. All these, your footwork is everything. Those need to be married. If you're running intermediate, to deep routes, you're going to have to take a 5-step drop. If it's a quick hitter, it's a 1, 2, 3 or catch and throw. And oftentimes it's not like that. Then his footwork. How many times have you heard me say footwork is everything, especially here in Chicago? We got footwork kings here. That get going back with the left foot first screws everything up. I've never seen that before in my life for right-handed quarterbacks. When you get it, you turn. Your right foot goes back first. But if you notice, Justin's left foot back goes back first all the time. That was changed by Getsy to do that. Why? I have no idea. Well, man, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. You know, it's frustrating because I see the problems. I see the issues. It's like, what don't you get? Here's one of the things I want to. Hold on. I'm trying to get this. So there's here. I'm only going to show you a few things, okay? Not a lot, just a few things, okay? A few plays. All right, here's when I talk to you about footwork, okay? And here people say, well, Justin holds the ball too long. And then, I'm like, shut up. You have to marry this. If you watch Joe Montana, go all the way back to Joe Montana, and I'm old enough to do that. I remember. Doesn't hold the ball very long. It's 1, 2, 3, throw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, throw. 1, 2, 3, bounce, throw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bounce, throw. It's very simple. It's all rhythmic. Joe didn't have the strongest arm. Very rarely did you see him throw the ball deep. Maybe 40 yards, 50 yards. But it was on time. Why? Because it was in rhythm. And that's the thing that I don't get is why running the West Coast offense, why this isn't important to him. Watch these throws from Justin Fields. Watch these throws. Watch his footwork. Just count. Don't even look at you're not going to look at the rest of the play. Watch his footwork. 1, 2, 3, throw. 1, 2, 3, bounce, throw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bounce, throw. Watch.
Fields to a wide open Cole
from the 23-yard line on first down.
Watch this. Look, boom, quick, nice move underneath. Great move. He saw the guy was going to knock it down, so he throws it underneath. Good arm angle. Watch this one. See his left foot goes back first. Boom. He bounces. Ball's coming out. N'Keal Harry. Bounce. Toss here comes the ball. I'm not even going to count the left foot here. 1, 2, 3. Bounce. Here comes that ball out. Boop. Bam. Fake. Bounce. Here comes the ball to Cole Kmet. Watch that. Boom. See how he plants? It's all rhythm. Look at this one. 1, 2, 3. Bounce. Throw. Touchdown. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bounce. Launch it. Touchdown. 1, 2. It was a quick one. Boop. He got it out quick. He was open. Montgomery was open. He hit him in the face. Watch this. He play action. Turns. Gets his hips. Sets. Throws. Touchdown. Another one. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Bounce. Throw. Touchdown. Now, mind you, this is all from the pocket. Remember, this is a guy who can't throw from the pocket. Justin Fields can't throw from the pocket. Despite this 5-7 minute clip of him throwing from the pocket. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Here comes the ball. So do you see how important footwork is? Do you see how important it is? This boom, boom, step up. Look at that. Between two defenders to Chase Claypool. Between two defenders, that was a fastball. Look at that. Boom, boom. I mean, we could go on and on and on. Okay? But man, this is why I talk about footwork being so important. You saw all those things, all those throws were in rhythm. All those throws were on time. All those, get the ball out of his hands. When people say he throws the ball too long, that's because routes and protection aren't married. You'll have long routes and have a 5-man protection, and they're showing 5 men. Like, no. No. Bring somebody in. Take somebody out of the route. Keep it back in. Don't go empty. These are all things these are all coaching aspects. These are all coaching points. And believe me, Justin has his issues he's got to work with. I get it. He's not perfect. He does have to make some more anticipatory throws. He does. He does have to, when things aren't open, he's got to run. Stop worrying about trying to fit in the box. I got to win from the pocket. I got to win from the pocket. No, I need you to get first downs and win the game, period. So if you drop back and the receivers aren't open because you only have 2 guys in the route, run. You see it. You can tell. And people talk about anticipatory throws as well. This goes on coaching also. We have tendencies. Offensive coordinators, defensive, we're human. Human people have tendencies. So you go in the film room and you, as an offensive coach, say, hey, here are the defenses they like to run. Now, it's not going to work because they're going to add some new shit every week. But they're going to rely on what they feel comfortable with most and say, okay, 3rd and 8 from this part of the field, they do this. They like to run this coverage. So if they run this coverage, here's what we're going to play. I found this clip of the Saints running a similar play, similar concepts. This is the guy we're going to put in conflict right here. This is the guy. So if he does this, you do that. If he does that, you do this. Simple. That's why Justin holds the ball, because some of these things aren't being done. And I know it's the NFL. They disguise everything because that's the whole purpose, because they know you have tendencies. You disguise everything. They don't want you thinking it's a certain coverage when it really is. So when you see other people like, oh, great decision making. No, it's coaching. It's like he's been put in that situation before. Look, here's what they're going to run. Here's what we're going to do. Here's the only guy you got to read. Eric said it also as well. Eric Kramer, put one guy in conflict. Find that dude, and whatever he does is wrong. You guys got me fired up this morning, man. Fired up. Brandon, if he could do you know how you do it consistently? You coach him. You stay on him, because Justin Fields is smart. He's smart. So you need to stay on him. These types of players, I've coached these type of players. You must stay on them. What did I tell you? Coaching is another word for teaching. Some of my most challenging students have been my smartest students. And you have to keep them engaged. You have to keep them. You got to stay on them because they are so smart. You have to stay on them. You have to quiz them every day, every single day. You got to stay on the smart ones, the most intelligent ones. You have to stay on. You have to reinforce it because they get lazy. Why? Because their intelligence or their talent has taken them so far. Now it's your job to refine it. Now it's your job to get the best out of these players on every play, every game. And that's where I think Luke Getsy failed. That's where I think. But listen, we got my first guest. Excited to have him on. It's been a minute. It's been a long time. I was just reading this. He's from the Chicago Sports Podcast. You can find him on Twitter at Hiatt. It's Hiatt. Hiatt Brandon, guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya. Brandon Hiatt. Brandon, what's up, Papa? Good morning.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing today?
I am wonderful. Wonderful, baby.
Sound like you're fired up.
I am because I love talking football and I love talking, I love when people talking, but they don't know what the hell they're saying. And they're like, I played a clip before you came on of Jalen Johnson talking about coaching talking about the importance of coaching and the responsibility of coaching. And when I say this, and you get these meatheads on Twitter like, yeah, but Justin should do this, and Caleb is this, and this. I'm like, and I said, guys, you don't understand coaching. And I brought up an analogy earlier today. I said, first of all, I said coaching is another word for teaching. It's a synonym. That's literally all it is. I said, so if your son, who's now 10, can't do addition, and you don't help him at home, but he's been in school, are you going to be mad at your son? Say, listen, dumbass, 5 + 5 is 10. Or are you going to go to the school and say, hey, listen, what's going on? What's wrong with, why are we not giving my son the proper tutelage to learn to know 5 + freaking 5? You're going to go to the school. And we think it's different because Justin's getting paid millions of dollars because he's a quarterback, because he's the face of the franchise, because he's has different endorsements and everything. It's no different. Talk to me about you in your thoughts on coaching and how important that is.
I think it's very important, especially when they get into the details and they help refine the skills that are already there. When from my past practice, when I came back from the Middle East, I walked into the registration office, and this guy in his 40s, I would think. I mean, I was 21, 22, so everybody looked old, and now I'm one of those guys. But he bumps into me, he goes, hey, are you at the football program? I'm like, no. I left. And he goes, have you ever played football? And I'm like, yeah, with my buddies, two-hand touch stuff, and sandlot, whatever. And he said, he goes, how tall are you? I said 6'6". He goes, how much do you weigh? And undisclosed now, but then it was 6. it was 220, like 225. And he goes, I think we could find a spot for you on the football field, So he immediately saw that I took an interest on the line and tight end and special teams. So it took a lot of work, but I wanted it, and I started. I was day one starter. But he spent a lot of time with me. When the talent left the field, the work hard stayed on it. And, at one point my work hard beat out the talent, and that's where I cracked the starting, but I couldn't have done it without him. So I think, coaching has a lot to do with a lot of, moving forward and being prepared. And like I said, what you were saying earlier about, footwork and all that on the line, especially being the SuperBack that you are, that the line is where it all starts. And if we know where we're at and we're in cadence with each other, we know our roles, we know our position, everything goes, the right way. And I have to look the same way that I do in my stance coming out in a pass or a blocking. So it's real critical to have your footwork underneath you, and ever more so at the quarterback position.
Yeah, it really is. And you know what? Regardless of what they do, whether they move on from Justin or they keep him, that's still going to be an issue, which is why I think, this offensive coordinator search. And I said yesterday, why this offensive coordinator search is important. I said yesterday, the most important acquisition this offseason is the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you have Justin or if you have Caleb or Drake May or anybody you draft, whoever's starting quarterback QB1 next year for the Bears, that has to be true. That has to be the most of they have to be in sync with this quarterback. They have to. There's an old saying in coaching: if you take care of all the little things, there are no big things. And that's the thing, that you need to be detail oriented with these quarterbacks. And let's talk about some of the offensive coordinator candidates that they brought in, and whether you like them or not. They brought in Kubiak, Gary Kubiak's son. Your thoughts on him?
I like Kubiak. Well, I don't know a whole lot about I know a lot about his dad. So, I like that about him. I like the tree that he's under. I think it could help out the Bears tremendously, coming from something that has been in place for a while, and it's not something that just got started. And I also like how it's kind of like tongue and groove with what we're already, what we already have implemented, minus the 9 billion screen passes, right? So I like the Kubiak brand name. You know, I'll be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about the kid, but from everything that I hear, it sounds good. How about you?
I do too. You know what, and I don't hold a lot in coaching trees for the most part, but the when I've seen like the Shanahan tree, those seem to hold true. All right, because if you think about the Bill Belichick tree, a lot of the guys have gone off and become defensive or head coaches, his DCs, and they really haven't done very well. On the flip side of it, a lot of Shanahan disciples have gone off and done pretty well. You know, you got Bobby Slowick, you have OG Bobby Johnson or Ben Johnson from
Ben Johnson
from Detroit. Like, you have these guys, and so yeah, I'd like him. I like him. Let's talk about the next one, and the one that this is really a firestorm, and that's Greg Roman. Your thoughts on him?
I like that. Okay, so day one, our defense sets up the run sets up the pass. That's how it's been in Chicago, you know. And I think that would Roman right away would help us out, you know, with our run, you know, game. I think minus Fields, you know, running around like that and getting all those yards, you take his yards away, and you know, we're subpar, honestly. So I think Roman could help out. What I don't, from what I understand, is outside of the tight end position, really, and throwing to the backs, I'm not hearing a lot of good things about him using the receivers the way that you could. So I'm not quite sure about that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, a lot of people, I like him, and here's why. You know, I look at, and I haven't gone. I had a few people DM me, like, "No, dude, you don't want him. You don't want him. You don't."
Okay.
You know, because I got people who are Ravens fans, and they follow them more intently than I do. You know, like they follow them like I follow my Bears. You know, and but I'm like, look, I'm looking at it from 10,000 feet. I'm like, he worked with Kaepernick, all right, Alex Smith, and then Kaepernick, all right, got them to a Super Bowl. Okay, he had weapons. Kaepernick, I know Kaepernick ran, but he wasn't always running.
No,
he had, you know, Michael, who was the receiver? They had two good receivers back then.
Yeah, the last play that he threw in that championship game, what was against the Seahawks?
Crabtree.
Yeah, Michael Crabtree. Yeah, Vernon Davis. Yeah, that was
Vernon Davis. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and there was one more receiver as well. So he had receivers, and then you think about, you go to he goes to Baltimore. And Lamar ends up having an MVP season. He threw for 3,000 yards, ran for 1,000, had 36 total touchdowns. So, and I'm like, okay, so, but again, I'm not just a stats guy. So I'm like, oh, look what he did. I'm like, okay, you have to look into it. And that's why I kind of listen to some of my friends who are either who cover the team or who are big fans of the team. But those numbers look good to me. But here's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that they're trying to create like a little all-star team, even if it's just for a year. So you'll have one offensive coordinator, but then you're going to have a passing game coordinator and a run game coordinator. And if they do that, then obviously Greg Roman will be the run game coordinator. Your thoughts on them having like a mini all-star team to run this offense?
I've seen us where we had a bunch of previous head coaches all together. I thought it was great, you know, because they all were coordinators and they all had their positions. And I'm like, well, if this guy doesn't end up good as our head coach, then maybe the next guy up or whatever. But it didn't work out for us. And then you kind of have power struggles, and you got to want to try to listen to, you know, am I listening to the sous chef this time, or who am I listening to, you know? And I think it goes back to, obviously, I'm going to do a lot of food analogies and whatnot. You know, too many cooks in the kitchen could spoil a good soup. And I think that could ring true. You know, I think we need, for me right now with Chicago, more is less. So I'm not really fond of that. I think a guy needs to come in. I mean, look what we did with, what do you call it? Eberflus this year. You know, we minused a position, and he took two of them on. So I'm not saying that is right, but also I don't want to see it broken down so much to where we're trying to figure out where to point the finger at. You know what I mean? I think it should be seamless. I think it should be painless. And I don't want to see a whole lot of changes. I just want them to work smart. I like what Maya said the other day on her short video. She said, as a player, you don't want to have to work harder because your coach isn't working smarter. And I think that's what it comes down to right now. So we got to find somebody that's working smart. You know what I mean? Whoever that is, Shawn, I don't know, because I don't know these guys. You remember back in the day, Shawn, we only knew a few good coaches, right? And then we knew all of like the really good players. Now with social media today, it's like, you know, it's crazy like how much details out there about all these guys, you know.
Yeah, you get the coordinators, their life story, where they went to high school, grammar school, who their girlfriend was, who their first lover was. You're like, dude, Jesus Christ, like a little intrusive here.
Hey, Shawn, the other day I made a little joke. You might like it. I said, we hired equipment operator, and you know, like, oh yeah, we know Johnson. He's great. He keeps those whites clean, and he's, you know, it's like, how do they know all these names? And I don't know all of that. You know, I know like the name guys. Like, hey, honestly, if Belichick was the guy for the Bears, I think, you know, they would have looked at him right away. Harbaugh right away. There's some names out there, you know, Carroll right away. I think you would have made room for that, at least an interview, right? But I think because they knew that they weren't going to get those interviews, they just kept with Eberflus, you know, and all that continuity and whatever. And I don't know though, but that's kind of like I'm not sure if that's like misguided right now, Shawn, because like, okay, so the Bears, they had 3 wins against bad teams, right? I mean, they had a win against the Cardinals. They had a win against Carolina, and they had a win against Arizona. Washington. And Washington. So that's 3 wins right there. Okay, so like that. Okay, so you scale that back from 7. Now we're at 4. We split a couple games and we got swept by the Packers. You know, a lot of people are jumping into high hopes for playoffs and Super Bowl next year. I still think we're a couple years away. Do we look better than we did last year? Yes, but I'm really hoping that like this coordinator comes in and straightens a lot of stuff up too, Shawn. But how much do you think could they straighten up on the defensive side of the ball if they add a little bit to that? Do you think there's anything that can happen there, or do you think we're pretty much dialed in, or what?
Well, defensively, first, guys, we're joined by Brandon Hiatt from Chicago Sports Podcast, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm hoping that, man, how much time do we have?
I could talk to you all day, brother.
you and me both. So my thought is this: with the defense, I think they're 1 player away. 2 players. Two.
Where at? What positions?
3 tech, opposite edge. You know, and I think that with and not even the opposite edge, because I think they're doing okay at that spot. But you give me a 3 tech, the way Billings is playing at the nose, at the 1 tech.
Yes.
Yeah, that hell, that's why they re-signed him. They even wait the whole season before they extended him. You know. Yeah. So my thought is this. All right, you trade back with Washington. Now we're going to get into some other stuff. You're going to trade back with Washington to the number 2 spot.
Yeah.
Okay, and say, hey, listen, you want your quarterback. Caleb Williams is from D.C., went to Gonzaga. All right, he's a D.C. kid. All right.
Oh,
let's not forget. Magic Johnson is part of that team.
Yeah.
He understands the value of marketing. What better way to get asses in the seats than to bring a hometown boy, to bring the Washington franchise back to prominence? What better way? You asked for 2 firsts. I would say give me 2 firsts, because I would say you can get 3 firsts. Ask for 3 firsts. All right, 24, 25, or 26, and a player. Don't even worry about a second round. Give me Deron Payne. Okay, there's your 3 tech, the one we wanted to sign last year, but they franchised him. Okay, no problem. If you
he's
can
on
do
the
that,
line, right?
Perfect. Yeah, he's a 3 tech. He's
Okay.
a 3 tech we need. Okay, no problem. But if they don't want to budge off of him, okay. My next person would be give me Terry McLaurin, give me the wide receiver. Okay, and if the third person, if they don't want it, then give me Jonathan Allen. But get one of those three in that order: Daron Payne, Terry McLaurin, Jonathan Allen.
Yeah.
Because if you get Daron Payne, your 3-tech is set. Now you got to worry about is an edge. If you get Terry McLaurin, you got DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, and then I didn't tell you this, and then we're still drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. Now you have a wide receiver core that people are like, holy shit. And then don't forget you can draft Brock Bowers with the 9th pick. So now you got Cole Kmet, Brock Bowers, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, and Marvin Harrison Jr. That's what I'm talking about.
That's amazing. Do you think we go out and get a tight end? Because I really thought that when we got Tunyon, we would have a good number 2, and it just is it the offensive coordinator? What's going on there with Tunyon? Because
I don't know, they just couldn't connect.
It's crazy,
and they couldn't connect. But I like Brock Bowers because he's a dual threat. He can block.
Oh, jeez.
He can block and he can obviously go out in catch some passes. So you get, because what's going to happen is now you're going to start to get a similar situation like Aaron Hernandez and Gronk back in the day, just minus the murders. Okay, so I'm thinking that's the way to go. What better thing do you want? You got 2 tight ends, and if it plays out that way, because that's a legitimate way for it to play out.
Yeah,
dude, DJ Moore, Terry McLaurin, Marvin Harrison Jr., Cole Kmet, and Brock Bowers.
Well, let me ask you this: Do you think that the new offensive coordinator, whoever that may be, potentially could unlock and bring back, revitalize Mooney? You think when we first had him, he looked great, right? I was like, wow, this is, we didn't have anyone on our team, but somehow he faded away. I think those intangibles still have to be there, or what do you think happened?
Yeah, I wonder if does he want to stay? Does he want to stay or does he want to get paid? And he's not. I don't think he's going to be. People aren't lining up. People aren't lining up at his door. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, I think he could come back. I think if he likes what's here, all right, it's feasible. It's feasible. James, here you're saying they're not going to get that much for moving up one spot. And so I said 3. I said let's just say 3. You can go get two first rounders and a player. Because here's what you say. This is ultimate FOMO, the fear of missing out. Okay, so you don't want to trade with us? Not a problem. I got 7 other teams right behind me.
Yep.
Okay, and if this kid is as good as he says he is, or as good as everybody says he is, and you have a chance to get him to bring him home to lead your franchise.
Yeah.
And you don't do it, how pissed are they going to be? And that's what Magic Johnson, him being part of that group, his voice is going to be like, hey, you're getting a hometown kid who's the top pick of the draft. We got to get him, because if he goes somewhere else, how bad do we look? So yeah, I hear you. You can ask for it, and I think he will. All right, maybe he gets 3, but I know Poles has already showed his ass. He's like, I'm getting a player.
Shawn, I'm gonna butt in. I'm gonna tell you something right now. There's 3 people that I would not want to sit down and play cards with. You, Maya, and Ryan Poles. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you guys got them poker faces, baby. Ryan is riding this off into the sunset. He's not going to let us know whether he's going to keep Fields. He's not going to let us know if he's going to go fishing for Caleb. He's going to hold on to them cards, and he is going to dig his heels in just like he did. I mean, we fleeced Carolina to get 2 first rounds back to back. He already knew that that team was going to look the way that it did, and get DJ Moore. I mean, that it speaks in of itself. And he also got more side pieces to that. He got more draft picks, right? So if anybody can make this happen, it's him. And I like what you said earlier. I didn't even think about this. He's a hometown kid from Washington, D.C., and Washington needs a quarterback. Also, Magic has he's got 2 hats over in with the Dodgers still, right? He's still got something going on over there too. So
Magic's got his hands. He's an octopus, bro. He's got hands everywhere, dude.
And Caleb's down at USC, so he sees it all. He knows what's going on. So yeah, I think it's definitely possible for us to get some good draft picks and all that kind of stuff. But
Brandon, look, and here's what we got from last year. Here's what we got from last year. So for the first number 1 pick, don't worry about the next trade back.
Oh yeah,
these are all the DJ Moore in the trade, Darnell Wright, Tyreek Stevenson, the number 1 overall pick.
for this
Like,
year.
come on, man.
Fourth for this year.
Yeah.
And then the 2025, the second round pick.
That's
my
from the Panthers. Yeah, the fourth round from the Eagles.
Bro.
So we got 5 picks for one particular person. and people say, well, they talk about Caleb, being generational. Like, first of all, I don't think he's generational. I think he's a good, because I will show you a whole bunch of other people that were quote unquote generational. Okay.
But Shawn, if you're at the dealer's table, you're not telling them that. You're
definitely not
what they say. You're saying, okay, you say this is going to be the best quarterback that we've seen in 20 years. This is what I got. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So
yeah.
I that's the way I see it. That's the way I like it. Let me dial back a little. What would you have done? Would you have made the decision on Flukes so quickly? Because on Black Monday that there's going to be a lot of coaches fired or leaving.
Yeah.
Would you have waited? Because I think that's why they waited. What would you have done with Eberflus? Would you have brought him back?
Bro, I hate to keep saying that word continuity, because you know how they get that buzzword that what was the word that they had a couple years ago that they kept saying that they used all the time? You remember that, Shawn? They had one buzzword.
Yeah, no, I remember that. I don't remember the word. Yeah.
We got tired of it. I hope somebody out there in the chat can help us out. But yeah, it was crazy. I was like, continuity, it plays a big key. Also for me, hearing from the other players about how much they like Flus, Ryan too. I mean, Ryan's name is on the line, and you heard what he said at the press conference, post press conference following, the end of the season. I mean, he talked about how he was that dog, and I'm like, okay, well, outside of that, before I heard all of this, I was ready to unload. I'm not going to lie. I really thought that we would move on to who, I don't know, Shawn, but I was open. You know what I mean? How about you?
Here's what I thought. I thought there had to have been a conversation. All right. There had to have been a conversation, because you hire Eberflus. Okay, or Eberflus is named the head coach, because I don't even know if that's particularly his guy. I think it might be, hey, you can pick anyone you want from these 3 people. Okay, but that's another story.
Yeah.
I think there had to be a conversation saying, look, in 2024 or 2022, I'm going to decimate this team. I'm going to get rid of Cap. I'm going to get rid of all these big things on defense, and it's going to hurt you to your soul because you're a defensive coordinator. Okay, we're going to rebuild it. And in 2024, I'll take the heat in 2023, in 2022, and 2023, because you're not going to win shit in 2022. I'm gutting your defense.
Wow.
Right?
So you're talking multiple years, having this conversation over multiple years, where we're just like, as fans, we're looking game to game, but you're putting your GM hat on, saying this is a conversation you had with Flus before it all went down.
Right. And so
I got
2024, 2023, we're going to be better. I don't know how much better, but we're going to be better. But 2024, we're going to make that up. We're going to bring that offense up. And in 2024, I can truly evaluate you, is what I'm thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
I would, I would have said, look, let me see who's out there, because I have no problem Rick Renteria his ass. I really didn't. If there was a coach, like if there was Harbaugh, and truth be told, I think they spoke with Harbaugh, because if you notice, Ryan Poles said, I did not speak with Jim Harbaugh. He didn't say, I did not. I don't know if he said specifically, or if he just said, I did not speak with Jim Harbaugh. He didn't have to speak with him. He spoke to his people. Okay. So he's not lying. He's not lying, but he spoke with his people. And I think that was one of the reasons why that didn't happen on Monday. All right. They had to talk with Jim Harbaugh's people. And maybe he wanted too much power. Maybe he wanted this, he wanted that. Maybe he didn't want the O-line coach. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what happened? But since that didn't work out, that's why it happened. What, Tuesday or Wednesday is when they had the thing with Eberflus. And I personally think that's what happened. I don't know, but I truly think.
Shawn, let's pause on that real quick. You just said something very important, and I heard Olin Kreutz. I've had him on my show, man. Very, very intelligent mind. I think you and I could both agree. He said that if he was, looking into it as far as being a coach, and they were going to offer him a job, it's not really good to say, okay, you can have this position, but you have to keep this offensive coordinator coach. And the offensive coordinator coach is the most important coach to be connected with when you're talking in the scheme of the whole offense. Like, you have to get your guy, you have to know your guy, and the offensive line coach, and hopefully at some point he can go ahead and get that and say, hey, listen, I want to bring in my offensive lineman coach and bring that in. But I like what Olin said, and you just said something right there about keeping the offensive line coach. I don't like that. And you know what, for a guy like Jim Harbaugh, who is right now, I mean, Michigan gave him the keys to everything, right, Shawn? So for you to tell me that you can come in here but you got to keep the offensive line coach, I think that's a little wonky.
It is, and that's the thing. But that's so Chicago Bears, and which leads me to believe that at least Bears fans believe that it still is the same old, different faces, the same thing. The powers from up top, because you don't do that. What if And I think that could be one of the reasons Harbaugh didn't want to come. Again, I don't know because I'm not there. That's just my opinion and my speculation. But you can't say I got to take this coach with me. I don't know him from Adam.
Yeah,
I don't know the dude. I mean, you know what I mean. I mean, coaches is pretty incestuous, the coaching ranks, but still, I don't know. I want to bring my people, because if I go down, I want to go down with my people, not someone else that I had to deal with. So I don't know. Here's some of the other people that everyone thought were, and when they talk about, well, Caleb's this, Caleb's that. All right, here's some of the other people that were generational. Okay, these are a lot of other people that were generational, taken first overall.
Jeez.
Okay, and so it's not a given. It's not a given. And again, I'm not shitting on Caleb Williams by any stretch. All right. It's not because I'm pro Justin doesn't mean I'm anti Caleb. I think this kid's going to be a really good player in the league. Generational? No, I don't think so. But that's not a diss to him. All right. But here's some other players: Jamarcus Russell, Jameis Winston, Baker Mayfield. How long did it take him to finally catch on? What, 7 years? You know what I mean?
It took a while, brother.
Alex Smith. Even Bryce, Tim Couch, all these guys, these are all generational talents that are talking about, oh, he's in there. Come on, man. And my thing is this. Let me ask you. Save it, take Caleb Williams, or trade it and keep Justin Fields. What would you do?
Well, I mean, I wore this shirt on your show for a reason.
Okay. At first I thought it was a Michigan State one, but now I see.
It's a salute to service.
Okay.
My grandpa does like Michigan State, and I've had a couple interviews with Jim Miller, Kellen Davis, and I really like a lot of their players and whatnot. But no, man, you know what? I even followed him over in Oklahoma too, man. And I thought he was a good, stand-up kid. I like that letter he just wrote, But I do believe, Shawn, two things can be true at the same time. Just because I like Caleb don't mean I like Justin. I think right now I'm having the best of both worlds, baby. If we keep Justin and he's got one more year, prove it deal, and, we go out and we get that receiver you were talking about from Washington. We draft a receiver, and we've got, we've already got DJ. I mean, shoot, man, how could he not improve? How could he not show, how good he is? Because facts remains is, you look at him when he played for Ohio State, it was his best four against the nation's best four, and Ohio State's best four won every time. And now he's got a best one and a check down in Cole Kmet. I mean, he don't really have a whole lot of options, bro. So giving him more options, I think, like you said earlier about giving Eberflus that, the timeline, maybe they sat Fields down and did the same thing, bro. Maybe they said, hey.
Yeah. Oh, I think they did.
This year's on me because I can't give you the offense that you need. I can't give you a quarterback or I can't give you a center that's not going to hike the ball over your damn head, and all. So, yeah, I'm good either way, bro. And it doesn't even have to be those two quarterbacks too. I think there's a couple guys in the draft that I'm excited about too. I like that kid out of LSU. I think he's pretty good.
Daniels,
yeah, Daniels. I like Penix, but thing about Penix though is those two shoulder surgeries that he had that ended his season, and then the two ACLs off the same ACL. Those things kind of worry me. You know what I mean? Especially for playing in Chicago.
Yeah. And again, guys, we're joined by Brandon Hiatt from Chicago Sports Podcast, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Be nice. Well, I'm talking to Brandon in the chat. Most evaluators will go with Caleb. Let's not forget, and here's the one thing that you got to look at it from 10,000 feet. The NFL draft is a TV show. It's an entertainment piece. Remember, 25 years ago, there was no craziness going on. They didn't have Draft Central. They didn't move it from city to city. It was all at Radio City Music Hall. Remember? It was all that. And what do they do? They started taking it on the road. They made it a production. It's a for business, actually a non-for-profit. It's for business for the owners because they get it all at the end. It's a for business. They're making money off. They're hyping people up. So the more that they hype people up, the more this gets. No. I know what the evaluators are saying. Okay, no, and but I'm saying to hype a person up. Like, oh, this is the next coming of. Yeah. You don't think people are gonna want to see the next coming of? You don't think they're gonna say they want to see the next coming of Peyton Manning, the next coming of Patrick Mahomes, the next coming of all these guys? That's the whole purpose of the next coming of, to get you excited about it. Now, I'm not anti-Caleb. I'm not saying, he's a piece of shit and needs to die. No, I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah, you don't sound like an anti-Caleb.
It's just that I think for this team right now, I think where they're at, I think Justin is the best person, best QB for this gig if you get him a good offensive coordinator. The leader, he's a leader. The ties he has in the locker room, the leadership that he has in the locker room, you take that out, that's going to affect the locker room. And people say, well, as long as you just win. Yeah, let me tell you something. When you have a quarterback that you believe in, okay, there's things you do extra. My guy in the chat, Armando Lara Jr., who was one of my offensive guards for a while. And he was like, yeah, and he was teasing. He goes, he would tell me, like, I would always block extra hard when I knew you were getting the ball. Well, there's a thing you go through when you have a quarterback that you believe in or a player that you believe in.
I agree.
And to take that out would really do damage. And like you said, Ryan Poles is going to say, well, guess what? The less value he understands. It's a show. He understands it's a production. And the longer he holds out and everyone's going at each other on platforms and you're this, you're stupid. You're stupid for wanting this. I'm like, it's got a lot of very toxic, but this is what they want. They want the buzz. They want everyone, because now everyone wants to know what's going to happen with Caleb. What's going to happen with the number one pick? That buzz is exactly what the NFL wants. There's a lot of sizzle, not as much substance, but a lot of sizzle. Everybody wants that because they're forgetting this is entertainment. And the NFL, I think outside of the WWE, they might be the best at promoting the entertainment aspect of it.
Year round too. I mean, we stay busy year round. There's so much info. Like, we could do shows. I mean, you do shows there's so much going on, but I do want to pause on something real quick that you just touched on. And I think it's important to note, these are kids in college. And we need to remind ourselves of that. My daughter's 19, she's going to school to be an esthetician. I don't have a kid. Well, my son's 8, he's in wrestling and soccer and basketball, whatever. But, these are kids, man. When I was in my 20s, it's a little different, to mock and say certain things and whatever. But at the end of the day, these college kids, Caleb, whoever, we got to be careful about what we're saying out there. And the number one leading cause of death of college kids is suicide. So our words matter, and we have to be careful about this. Is just a game, it's a fun game that we love, but they're in there playing, whether they play a good down or a bad down, we got to be careful about what we say, So I just wanted to touch on that real quick, Shawn, because I've heard some stuff, there's some things that they don't like about this guy or that guy and what they say. I'm just like, unbelievable. And the other day, even when they're not kids, that situation with the Chicago Bulls and I mean, you want to know why people don't want to come to Chicago? That right there, but booing somebody that shows up that's widowed. Their husband, that was his vocation. That's what he did for work. That does not make who he was as a person. His wife shows up on his behalf and you boo him. I mean, it was terrible what happened there, So we just got to be careful about how we say things and what we do. I'm pretty sure some of those people would take back what they did that day, because I can't see too many people, there's definitely some people that didn't like Krause and how he, operated and whatever. And Jordan was definitely not a big fan of his, but
yeah,
we got to be careful.
Yeah, that's the Jordan effect. And they still affect, but that's the thing that's a whole nother topic, because I think they're forced to grow up too early, because you have all the specialization, you got quarterback coaches, you have all these other things. So one of my former teammates is JJ McCarthy's quarterback coach, and he's been at since he was 6th grade. So it's like you get these kids specialized, and they're forced to grow up early, because now there's travel. Remember, JJ went to IMG his senior year because they weren't playing basketball. I mean, they weren't playing football during COVID. So you got these camps, you got this, you got the Nike, the 7-on-7, you know what I mean? You got all these different things where they're hyping these kids are nowhere like where we are. And what social media has done, they've made them a lot more fragile, because a lot more people have access to them. A lot more people, you hear a lot more stuff, good and bad.
Yeah.
So it's I hear you. Excuse me. But back to the topic.
Yeah.
I'm a pro Justin guy, and people talk about, Caleb this, Caleb that. Here's my thing, and I say you're a Caleb guy, and that's cool. We all have our opinions, and truthfully, in the end, it really doesn't matter what we think.
Yeah, exactly.
My thought is this: is you trade that pick, you can get I mean, I just showed you, what we got for the last pick. We got 5 people. DJ Moore, Darnell Wright, Tyreek Stevenson, the number 1 overall pick, and then the 25th, 2025 second-round pick. That's 5 for 1. Yeah. Imagine if we get more. Imagine if we get another first-round pick. So that'll be 8, 10 players for 1 pick for last year's pick.
10
and you don't
piece,
think you don't think that can help out a team? The Bears are still in need. All right, they're still in need. And even when you're complete, you're still in need, because you need depth. And I think that, when I saw Acho talking on Joey, I don't know if it was his own show or platform, or Joy Taylor's, and he was talking about, I'll take my chances on one guy than multiple. I'm like, are you kidding? You mean to tell me you're going to take your chances on one guy as opposed to 10 people? And they're all first and second round picks. It's not like you're picking 6th and 7th round. These are all first and second round picks that you're choosing from, that you're hoping hit. So if 4 of them hit, 4 is more than 1. Yeah. And I think and here's the thing that people are forgetting, Brandon. You can go get a quarterback next year or in 26.
Yeah.
You'll have multiple first round picks, and the Bears probably won't be, their pick won't be that high, but they're opposing whoever they get the pick from might be that high. And even if you want, you know what? Trade both first rounds that year and say 26. If Justin doesn't work out, you trade both first round picks in 26, you jump up to the top and you go get your quarterback. Now he's coming in with wide receivers. Now he's coming in with an offensive line. Now he's coming in with running backs. Now he's coming in with defense, with a great defense. It just makes sense.
Yeah. And you also have a seasoned general manager and potentially somebody to play underneath for a year and learn from, instead of just coming in as a college kid and playing. Why are you saying 26? Is that when Archie Manning comes out? Is that what you want to say?
No, because 24 and 25, I say you pick up Justin's 5th year. So he's budgeted.
How much is that? How much is that? Do you know?
23, 24.
23, 24 million?
Yeah. So you look at him. So it's literally $30 million for the next 2 years for Justin. Average $15 million a year.
$15 million a year. Yeah, average. For the most important.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you got average 15 years, 15 next. So actually 6 and 23, 24, whatever. But it's still cheap. So now, if say for some reason you after this year you get Justin, you're like, yeah, you know what? I don't think you get him a good coaching. He's not the dude. Okay, guess what? Now you can trade him. Justin's value isn't going to go down. And if you can get Justin Fields for 1 year for $24 million, okay, now other teams know exactly how much he's going to cost. Because if you trade him after, or if you don't pick up his 5th-year option, there might be people might be saying, hey, well, guess what? You know what? We want a contract starting at 25 or 30.
Yeah.
Here, at least you know you got him for 1 year for 24-ish. And you can go back and get him. And I know that the quarterback's the most important part, but you can save that till the end. Because you know what? Brock Purdy isn't the best quarterback in the NFL.
No,
he was Mr. Irrelevant. But you know what they did?
He was Mr. Irrelevant at Iowa State too, and especially against big time colleges. You know that Big Ten guy. You know when the Iowa State plays against Big Ten teams, they you know they they don't do too well. So I mean, yeah. So he was not even in that bowl game. He did not look good. So, but for him to come out and do good, it's unbelievable. And for them to pick him out, you know, like. How did you know to pick that out, Shawn? I mean, you of all people, Big Ten guy looking at everybody, you're like, Brock Purdy, are you sure about that, San Fran? Now look, it's like smartest guy in the room now, you know?
And hence this goes back to our initial conversation, coaching. Because you have once you got a guy who's coachable and can do what you want.
Yes, sir.
Right? Because you had a more talented guy in Trey Lance.
Yeah.
He couldn't get it done.
And you have a team that's built around him, to your point, Shawn. You have a team built around him. He doesn't have to put that cape on all the time like Justin Fields. Yeah, I mean, I know Cam Newton is his go-to guy. That's who he embodies. That's his guy. That's his hero. They talk together. He's wearing jersey number 1 for crying out loud. I mean, there's a lot of comparisons here, right? But at the end of the day, man, you don't, as young as you are, you don't have to put that cape on every time in San Fran, man. You are not driving the bus. The whole team is driving you the bus there. You're just a piece that makes it work. You know what I'm saying? In San Fran. So I like what you said
Brandon?
there.
Can you imagine, Brandon, if Justin Fields was running that and had a Mike Shanahan or Kyle Shanahan coaching him? God forbid Mike Shanahan. But you had, you know what I mean? Like that. Just think of the increase in talent, like with that. And that's why it's important. So when people say, when people want to gloss over, you got a better coach, but like, no. You can't just gloss over. You got a better coach, but coaching is everything.
Yes.
Okay. Everything, because you have a guy who's extremely talented, like Justin Fields, or like CJ Stroud, or like Patrick Mahomes. And your job is to pull that out of them on a consistent basis. And these good coordinators, play callers, head coaches, they do. AB, great stuff, Papa. I appreciate it. Good stuff. Hey, awesome having you on. We're gonna have to have you on. You got to remind me, dude, because there's so many different people about I want to talk Bears. Just remind me, bro. You know, I'd love to have you on anytime. But before you go, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, Chicago Sports Podcast. So I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, Twitch, Spotify, Pandora, and then during the football season, we head out to the biggest Chicago tailgate, Chicago Bears tailgating group, just right there by Soldier Field. So it's a good time. We bring in celebrities. This year we brought in several celebrities. One of my favorite was Tommy Harris and Mike Singletary. That was a really good time bringing them in, and they signed autographs and whatnot. And that money and the proceeds went to help Mongo. And then I do a lot of like live autograph signings and stuff and podcasts with these guys, and we always help Mongo out while he's fighting he wants to finish this fight to Canton, so he can finally see a long overdue, in my opinion, 25 years overdue to Canton for making the Hall of Fame. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. And I'm gonna have you on my show, bro, because I was hoping you were gonna get into the free agents, the offensive names and stuff, and the receivers. And there's so many guys, Shaquan Barkley. There's so many guys I wanted to pick your brain and talk to you about. You know what I mean? Being the SuperBack that you are, what you thought about. What would it look like for Shaquan Barkley to come to Chicago, baby?
Do not play with my fucking emotions like that, bro. Do not play with my emotions like that, dude.
He's a free agent, bro. He's a free agent,
bro. Yeah. Hey, what's the DM? What you gonna do now when on that zone read? What are you gonna do now? Saquon? Are you going after Saquon or Justin? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Dude, do not play with me like that.
To your point, you were stacking draft picks, right? You were looking at wide receivers, but did you look at the free agents that they have out there? T. Higgins, Mike Evans. Oh my gosh, man!
If you keep Justin, you're gonna. I don't want to go. We have a stud in DJ, so yes. I don't need to get another one that we have to pay for unless it's via trade, like Terry McLaurin. Here's the one thing that's most important about. Remember, everything needs to be budgeted, so you know what you have to pay. So you can move
Okay.
money around. Say, okay, you know what? You want to restructure your contract. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to say, okay, I'm expecting 12 and he wants 18. Like, oh shit. No,
Yeah.
get everything budgeted, which is why I want you to pick up Justin's 5th year. So
Okay.
you and everybody else, now you don't limit your free agents. First of all, you don't have to, because you got this year. My guy, be nice. You don't have to, because it's budget. We got room under the cap. We have room under the cap. We don't have to pay him till 26 if we do that.
Yeah.
All right. And everybody you have, everyone you have all the draft picks you have, they're going to be budgeted too. They're on 4-year deals, and this way you'll be able to have money. You'll be
Let
able
me
to
ask
have
you.
money.
Let me ask you a question, since you're a capologist and you're looking about. I didn't know you're all about finances, bro. I'm like, they got $85 million. We could sign 100 guys right now for $30 million a piece, and I don't even put all the money together. I'm just saying, let's just do this. Let's go. Let me ask you a question. Why in Major League Baseball could Shohei sign the contract that he did and backload all his money? What is it, 7 years later, where he gets paid his $700 million and he's only owed like $4 million a year, something silly like that? I forgot what the numbers were, but couldn't we potentially do that in the NFL? Is there anything stopping us from doing that?
Well, that's collectively bargained, and no, there really isn't anything stopping that, because you can defer payment. Chris Zorich was one of the guys. At one point, the Bears owed him $2 million, and he said, "You know what? Give it to me, 20 years for 100,000. I was like, dude, how freaking smart is that?
That's smart.
You know what I mean?
I'm sure Candy appreciates that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but you're allowed to do that. It's collectively bargained. There's nothing wrong with it. And he might have opened up Pandora's box and have other people do that. And if it's collectively bargaining in the NFL, believe you me, there'll be a lot of other people that are going to take advantage of that, because he did a smart thing. He lives in California. He knows the crazy tax that they have. So when he leaves and then he goes to Florida or residence there, man, he has no state income tax there. He's not, the tax is most likely what it's about. So it was collectively bargained, and like I said, Pandora's box might have been opened.
Yeah, buddy, kick me off here. I could keep picking your brain all day, man. Kick me off here, man.
All right, dude, we'll talk later. Thanks, B. We'll talk.
All right, man. All right, see ya.
Guys, that's Brandon Trax Hiatt from the Chicago Sports Podcast. Man, we got to run. 2 hours is come and gone. We actually went a little over. No problem. I want to thank my guest, Brandon Hiatt, for coming on talking Bears football. I want to thank you, man. Be nice over on the left coast in the Bay Area. Thanks for tuning in. My man, Nomad, jumping in. Yes, baby. Yay. J2K, the Walls of Jericho in the Mickey Vicky house. My man, Armando Emeterio, Lara Jr. was in the house. AC Adams jumped in. That's what I'm talking about. Cornelius, Shawn. You know what? This is what I'm talking about. This is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show. We got David Arroyo in the house. This is what James Ford. Man, I love it. Listen, I gotta run. I gotta go pick up the warden from CrossFit. If you don't follow me on Facebook, follow me on Facebook. And I'm telling you, it's at Deshawn Sierra. We didn't have the show on Monday, so I picked her up. I took her to CrossFit. Her Strong for Life class. It's the everyone's 60 and older in that class, and I was in the small gym working out, and so it's actually pretty cool. It was good. The first time I ever got to work out with my mom, I thought that was pretty dope. So check it out. The pictures are pretty cool. Or if you follow me on Instagram, same thing. You'll see the same shit. But hey, we got to bounce. I want to thank Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Council III, our social media guy, my co-host at Ascension Maya, and most importantly, I want to thank you, man. You made this show awesome. I love this. I love the conversation in the chat. This shit was jumping. And I love it. We're all passionate sports fans. We're passionate Bear fans. And let's just not let the toxicity expose. There's too many other idiots out there. Let's be smart. Let's be educated fans. And let's respect other people's opinions. It might not be ours. Hey, Brandon wants Caleb. I still want Justin. We're on opposite sides of the fence. It's okay. We don't have to call each other names and get stupid about it. All right? Because at the end of the day, like I said, it doesn't matter what we think. It only matters up there at Hallis Hall. So be nice to people. Don't be a jagbag, all right? Don't be a dick. All right? There's too many jerks in this world. Be nice. All right? Agree to disagree and move it, and keep it moving. All right? I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Folks, I will see you on Friday. Same bat time, same bat channel. 9 a.m. to 11 on Friday Central Time. I already have a guest. Another guy from Windy City Gridiron, Eric Duer-Wachter is coming on. And then we'll probably get one more guest for Friday. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, 12:15, today's Wednesday, so nobody. I'm going to replay this at 8 o'clock tonight. All right, so you can check this out as well. So everybody from here at Sports Zone Chicago, I'm your boy. Guess what, peoples? To my peoples, I am out.